let's look at yesterday's problem of the day. See what we had there. Because we missed you all yesterday. You missed me. I hope you did. I hope you did. The problem was change 5/6 into a decimal and a percent. Again, it's 5/6. Not one of our more common quote fractions, but I think that's pretty easy. It's out of 6, 5 out of 6, into a decimal and a percent. All right, let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at how we're going to work through this. First of all, fraction, it's a division. What this simply says, when we have 5, and I'll bring it a little more, sometimes we like to look at it more a little horizontal than that, slant. But that means 5 divided by 6, or 5/6. We say that, but that's what it is. It's just division. So let's take our 6, and we're going to divide into the 5, all right? And you say, Ernie, that won't go, will it? Exactly. So when things don't go, what we need to do is bring a decimal and bring a 0 right along there. So we're going to work this out long ways. We're going to work it out the long way. We have 6 going into 50. Now think a little bit. It doesn't go in there exactly, unfortunately. Sorry, it doesn't do that for us. But folks, it will go in there a certain amount with a little bit left over. So let's pick up an 8. An 8. 8 sounds good, because what's 8 times 6 going to give us? That's going to give us 48. So now it's time to work through this little puppy. Let's subtract. We got a 2. Well, that's not completely coming out even either, did it? Let's bring down another 0. Here comes the 0. And I got 20. And it looks like 6 going into 20. Well, it doesn't go evenly either. Yeah, you got that right. It's going to be with looks like a 3. Looks like a 3. Because 3 times 6, 18. So let's put a 3 right up there. And 3 times 6 gives us that 18. Oh my goodness, we subtract, we get a 2. This is starting to get a little repetitious, all right? In fact, how repetitious is it? It's going to be a repeating decimal, because let's bring one more 0 down, all the way down. And look what happens. We got another 20. Well, you know 6 goes into 20 3 times. And you know what? The same result. We've got that 2 left over once again. So what do we notice here? I could bring another 0 down, but you know, the story's the same. So here's how we look at this. Repeating decimals, they have a nice notation. Oh, by the way, where's the decimal? I mean, put the decimal in there. Let's put it right up there in front of that 8. So it rambles on and on and on and never finishes off, because it's just going to keep, this pattern's going to keep repeating. You're going to subtract 18 from 20 over and over. You get a 2, bring down a 0, you've got another 20. It's just monotonous, right? So we just need to cut it off. Let's cut it off. But let's explain this, not just 83 hundredths, or in this case, 833 thousandths. It actually keeps going on. And the way we use a notation for that, we keep the decimal. That part's fine. We'll put the 8 right there to the right of the decimal point. But let's keep that 3, since it's repeating, keep it kicking right there. Now some of you say, oh, Ernie, I've seen those bars before. Aren't you supposed to put it over the 8 also? Well, I ask you a question. Did the 8 repeat? 8 did not repeat. It is a one and done basically there. Everything that's repeating is just 3, 3, 3, 3. So that is where that repeating bar, that decimal is repeating. So you do not want to make that over the 8, because what that would mean would be have a decimal point and then 83, 83, 83, 83. That's what that would mean. This is all about the 3. The 3 is the only thing that's repeating. So there, my friends, is your decimal part. Now you say, well, what are we going to do with percent? Well, percent means we do what? We change. Well, we move that decimal, what? 2 places. 2 places. So there we are as a decimal. Let's make it into, make it a percent. So we shift it 2 places. It's going to be 83. We don't stop there, because remember, we have this repeating 3 going on. So there's something going on to the right. So put your decimal right there, and we'll put that 3 right there. It's not just 83 3/10. It's repeating time. There we go. Let it repeat for you. And that would be how we would do that as a percent. So carefulness in details, a little bit of details there, but that's how we work with our repeating decimals, all right? And there's a way to work backwards. We may look at that later in the show if we have time, okay? But that's one of the things you want to make sure of. So there you go.